I thought I'd take just a minute to explain why I'm making videos. Is that for quite a while now I've been wanting to try to, I guess like everybody, try to capture the past by thinking back through your life and all the things that's happened to you. And, I got to thinking about all of the stories that my grandfather used to tell me, and I was raised up by him most of my life when I was being raised by him. And he was an older guy, and the thing of it is that back when he was young and stuff, they rode horses around as much as they drove cars. My goodness, he was a person that went out in World War One and bought the mules and the horses for the army, and they got him because he had raised with horses. His dad was raced horses, and anyway, and everybody knew him around that area where he lived. So the recruiter back then, I'm not for sure how that works, but anyway, he came up, and so he put Grandpa in charge of doing that. And that, if the army wanted your horse, they was going to get it. They'd pay you for it, but that just not confiscate them, but they would take them and pay you for it for the war effort. And not only just getting a horse, but then they had to be classified. Hey, this horse would be good for, pulling wagons and artillery and stuff, or this horse is a good mount horse, to ride, and this mule, and so they had different classifications. Anyway, that's what he did. But anyway, he used to tell me about these stories, and then and all different ones, just through his life. And I can remember as a kid, and a lot of times when I got to be more of a teenager, well, he would kind of capture me, but he'd start telling these stories, and I'd get interested in them, and I really enjoyed them, even though I wanted to go, down to the pool hall and shoot pool with the boys, but I would stick around to listen to them, and I'm glad I did. I really learned a whole bunch about how it was back then, and then later, where I lived there in McFarland, well, there was a lot of people there that were, came out from the during the Dust Bowl and stuff, and they have all of these stories, and I'd listen to them. And I think I explained once before that I actually lived in what they called a labor camp there in McFarland for a long time with Grandpa. He had a trailer there, and the labor camp was different than the ones that you think about back during the Dust Bowl. It was privately owned, and it was family oriented, but it was for people that worked in the fields or low labor, and they could raise their family there, what I mean, inexpensively, and it wasn't a bad place. He kept it up and everything. But anyway, so I got a chance to really talk to a lot of people, and during that time as a kid, and a lot of older people, and they had all of these stories, and anyway, the thing that I'm getting at is that I wished that I had videotapes of my grandpa explaining some of the things about his life. And because I'd like to see him again. But not only that, my kids don't remember my grandpa. They've probably heard me talk about him and everything, but they don't really know him. Where if they could see him and hear some of the things that he had feelings about, and expressing things, not just in stories, but about his philosophy of life and stuff, I believe it would be great. And so the main purpose that I started doing these videotapes was to capture that. I'm planning on going through all of my memories, kind of a thread at a time and stuff, and putting it on videotape. I won't be showing that on media here. I'm not going to be posting that. The only things I post on here, if it's political or something that I feel that way. But the other stuff is kind of private. It is private, but anyway, it's kind of therapy for me to go back and remember these things. And not only that, I mean, my kids know a lot of this, a lot of it they won't. And my grandkids the same way, and all of them knows my philosophy about different things. But my grandkids, great grandkids, and then their kids. I don't know if this will last that long or not. But anyway, I'm going to try to have a record to where they can, if they want to take the time to, I mean, it just can be out there for them. I'm going to try to preserve it in a way to where people can have it, pass it down if they want to. Some of them might not want to know what that old son of a gun thought, and I don't want him clouding up my kid's mind with this, But I know through the years in my situation with my parents and everything, I wished I knew more about it because when I was being raised up, my aunt, when I lived with her, and even Grandpa, didn't like talking about that subject with me. So anyway, the thing of it is that what these tapes are about is just kind of doing that. It's just kind of a self-therapy for me, I guess, and means I got plenty of time now that I'm retired and stuff. I enjoy looking at all of the old pictures. I still do that. I love seeing pictures. I love seeing videos, of the kids and the grandkids and the great-grandkids. That's fantastic. And anyway, that is what this is all about. And like I said, most of it won't be, very, very little of it's ever going to be shared publicly. But there will be a record there that I will, in some form, put up to where if people want to take it and share it with their kids, well, that'll be good. If they don't, they don't. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know what this filming things was about and how come I'm doing it, because I can't express it on paper. I just, I can't, it takes me forever and a day to write a sentence that makes sense. And so anyway, that's what this is what the video stuff is about, in case you just wondered. Well, a kind of PS from the this video would be that I also wanted to explain that in the archive that I'm going to have about telling my story, that it's not going to contain no political stuff in it at all. It's just going to be about the experiences. And so anyway, I just wanted to put that to rest about separating political from your life story. That don't have to be in it. And I'm going to try to tell it warts and all too. It's like I said, I love seeing the fun times of, like the grandkid chasing you around a tree, and then your great granddaughter chasing you around a tree. That's fantastic. And that's fine. And a lot of people, that's what the way that they want it, because they want it to be remembered. But I love that. But my goal is just telling a deal of my time, the way that it was, warts and all. And anyway, I just wanted to add that to this explanation of why I'm shooting videos.